Morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. I am Sean Butler. Bugsy Malone's up in front. She's about to meet one of her mates. I don't know if you can see that doggy up in the front. How you guys doing? Are you out with your friends? It's a beautiful day. It feels like spring or summer. It's lovely. Anyway, I hope you're all happy and healthy. It's Thursday, and we got some transfer news, views, and clues to discuss. And guess what? The Daily Mail has come out with an article suggesting 4 players, two of whom have been loosely linked, 2 of whom are new names, and both of whom I'm excited about. Let's talk about them. Before we get into it, guys, smash the like button for me if you enjoy these videos. That's right, let me get the sun out of the camera. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. We're about 50 people away from 20k, which is massive for the channel. I'd be very, very grateful if you could help. But also, as I said before, if you haven't already hit the subscribe, but even if you have, can you double check? Because the last 3 videos I've been asking people to double check, and I've had endless comments saying that they were subscribed and suddenly they're not. So YouTube are doing, I don't know what they're doing, but they're up to something. So help me out. Check if you are unsubscribed, and then resubscribe. Hit the notification bell and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on today's topic. It's all about left backs. It's all about centre backs. Some of whom are left-footed. Some of them are left-footed right-sided centre backs. Some of them are right-footed left-sided centre backs. Some of them are ambidextrous, ambipedal. But they're all good players. First and foremost, Crystal Palace Mark Guehi. Someone who, I'll be honest, I'm not a massive fan of. There's something about him. You know when you get like a bee in your bonnet about a player early in their career, you notice something, and then every time you watch them play, you're looking for confirmation bias to make sure you were right. I think I've been doing that with Mark Guehi, and maybe I've taken my eye off the ball a little bit. I haven't kept my eye on the prize and realised how good he is and other things. I do think the guy's clumsy. I think his positional sense is a little bit odd and off. I think he gets caught out with his positioning. Consequently, I feel like I've always been looking for that, and it's always been confirmed, and I feel like that supports my narrative that he's not as good as people say he is. However, you can't deny the fact that Crystal Palace have been excellent at defensive responsibilities this season. I think Guehi has been supported massively by a brilliant player, someone who I would think there is an argument for to be in the team of the season thus far. If you were to be someone who was to look further afield in the top 6, I think Joachim Andersen is that guy. I think he's excellent. And I think Guehi, I have to come around to it and say, look, he has been brilliant this year. Last season I was unimpressed. I thought a lot of people were saying he's the next this, the next that, the next Ledley King, whatever. I don't think he's that good, anything like that good, but Tottenham are being linked with him. It's going to cost a fortune. He's English, he's right-footed but left-sided. Look, I don't know for you, let me know in the comments, how important is a left-footed, left-sided centre-back? The absence of it means that you're more inclined to naturally close your body off to the outside, and I don't know necessarily if that's such a big deal when you've got inverted fullbacks, but the inversion usually happens slightly later in the move, so I still would rather have a left-sided, left-footed centre-back. Listen, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Crystal Palace are doing really well this season, and I think that they've done really well in spite of losing all of their forwards and all of their attacking options, and those guys are starting to come back. I don't think Crystal Palace are desperate for money. I'd be surprised if they were, I'm not sure. So I think it would take a really big bid. And I think there's probably better value for money out there when you consider how much we need to do in January. So, but Mark Guehi's on the list. He's good, he's very good. I just don't particularly like him. As I say, maybe it's in my head rather than in reality. But let me know, do you like him? Would you like him? Right-footed is an issue for me. Maybe it's not for you. He's the first name on the list. I don't think it will happen anyway. I don't think Crystal Palace will sell him in January. And we need someone in January. Let's move to number 2 on the list, guys. Number 2 on the list is Everton breakthrough starlet, big, broad, Jared Branthwaite. I like Jared Branthwaite. I think he is You know what? People have described him to me as the next Robert Huth, which I think is incredibly harsh. I don't know for you youngsters out there if you remember Robert Huth, but I think he's big, he's strong, he's broad, he can play with the ball, he comes out. And I think this is a similar, when you look at him, he come from Carlisle in 2020 to Everton. In the last 2 years for Everton, when he has played, he's been playing for a team that, for the most part, until the last 3 or 4 games, have been under the cosh. They don't really get to play expansive, attractive football too much. It's very much breakaway football. And so I don't know if you've seen the best of what this kid has to offer. He's only 22, and I think he's really, really high potential talent, if I'm honest. Left-footed, I believe, or at least ambipedal, and plays on the left side. He's big, he's strong, he's tall. He loves coming out and smashing players, and when he does, if he wins the ball, he can bring it out quite happily, which is the sort of thing you need. You need people to break the line when you're playing the system that Tottenham do. If you're going to get the ball at the high line, you want to be able to break through the attacker, the forward, whoever it is, the cam that's going to try and press. And then once you've done that, it forces the next midfielder out, which leaves space for the likes of Maddison, or in this case, Lo Celso, maybe for the next few weeks. By the way, shout out to Lo Celso. I'm not a massive fan of his, but I think he had a brilliant performance against Brazil in the week. I'm not sure if he'll be home in time for Sunday because of the jet lag. I think they're leaving. They're on the plane now, aren't they? It's going to be difficult. Anyway, I think Jared Branthwaite is a really interesting player. Not sure I want him now. Not sure Everton will let him go for anything less than not outrageous money, but like extremely over the top money for where he's at. Everton obviously in trouble, but they've already taken the punishment. So, you know what? I'm not even sure what happens once you've broken FFP and you've been punished. Does that kind of reset the record? I don't know. Something I need to educate myself on. But in any event, I don't expect him to come in. But if he does, I'd be okay with it. Would you? Do you know much about him? Let me know. I think this guy is a real talent. Similar to Lloyd Kelly, I think he's someone that hasn't had the opportunity yet in his career to demonstrate what he's capable of in a team that plays to a different style that might suit him. But I like him. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on to 2 names we haven't spoken about very much on this channel. First one is AC Milan, 22-year-old, Finland and German, plays for Germany, but Finnish-born, Malik Thiaw. Remember him from last season? Love that guy. Absolutely adore him. Like he reminds me of, if you were like a centre-back version, a white centre-back version of Pape Sarr in terms of his kind of languid, lanky, long leg style. He's not strong. He's not like an absolute monster, like a Gleison Bremer. It's the opposite to a Gleison Bremer, but he's got long legs. He's 6'2". He is, for me, a potential future world-class player. I genuinely look at him and think he has got everything in his bag to do it. He's not blessed with obscene pace, but he's mobile because of the length of his legs. But what he is capable of doing is absolutely smashing players. And because of the system that AC Milan play, Tomori, because they've got the pace to sit back and get out of trouble, so he's afforded the opportunity to get forward and smash. He is a left-footed, left-sided centre-back. I'm not sure if he's the right guy for Tottenham at the moment, because I wouldn't say he's got that kind of Romero gene where he wants to, he's got that recklessness. But what I do think he is someone who likes to get forward. I don't know whether or not he's adaptable to necessarily have to change his style and get back and defend and cover like a Van der Ven would do. But in terms of playability, in terms of his passing, I think his passing is ratatata. And like I say, one to keep an eye on. I don't think it will happen. I think he's valued at 30 million according to Transfer Market, but I would imagine AC Milan are not going to let this guy go. He's one of their stars of the future. So I'd be very surprised. However, he has been linked with Tottenham. He's also been linked with Liverpool. He's been linked with everybody that's looking for a centre-back. And of course, left-sided, left-footed centre-backs are of a premium. And put him in the list. put him on the long list. Do you know I'm doing a video for you guys? I'm going to try and release it, much like the multi-club ownership thing, where I want to keep making a video, but every day there's something new to add to the story, and so you can never get like a complete sort of topic. With Tottenham's centre-back targets, the list gets longer and longer. I think we're on about 12 or 13 at the moment. Now, I don't want to bore you with a 20-man list for a video without having to cut short the detail of each player for the sake of the length of the video. So I'm going to have to put it out there, but I'm going to add Malik Thiaw to it. I think he's a wonderful player. I'd like him at Tottenham, I just don't see it happening. And I'm going to say exactly the same thing for this last guy who has been linked as well in this Daily Mail article, and that is Gonçalo Inácio, Portuguese sensation, massive fan of his, always have been. Another youngster, another left footer. Hang about, am I making a mistake here? One of Thiaw and Inácio are left foots. One of them's right foot but plays on the left or plays anywhere. It's Malik Thiaw that can play anywhere on the right. He plays left side centre back, right side is centre back, or right back, or defensive midfielder. I apologise. And Inácio is the guy who plays on the left with the left foot. But yeah, this like another brilliant baller, powerful, strong, brilliant in the air. Inácio, absolutely adore him. Don't see it happening. I think it's going to be big money. And from what I've heard, you know, Liverpool again are looking, as are Newcastle. I think Inácio plays more of a style that would suit Liverpool, and it's going to be big money. It's going to be big money. Now, whether Liverpool have the money, I think Liverpool are basically in a similar sort of situation as Tottenham, and in terms of they're not quite up against FFP, from what I've read. Could be wrong, but they're not far away. And they spent a lot of money in the summer, didn't they? I think they did. So it'll be interesting. A lot of Liverpool fans I speak to are saying we don't need a centre-back as much as we need a defensive midfielder, but others are saying no, we need a left-back more than we need anything else because of Robertson's injury. But apparently, according to all reports, apart from the Daily Mail says Tottenham are front runners for Inácio, but you type in Gonçalo Inácio into Google, guys, and you're going to see a plethora of reports that are not talking about Tottenham, they're talking about Liverpool. And let's be honest, if it comes down to a popularity contest in the eyes of Inácio, of who he would rather join, if the money's the same and the wages are the same, you're probably going to miss out. Luis Diaz settings. So, I don't know. To be honest, guys, look, you know it's in the news, I'm going to bring it to you. I don't think Inácio is probably going to happen. I'd be amazed if Malik Thiaw is going to happen, and because he's more right-sided, I'm not sure he is as, even though he's utility and versatile, I'm not sure he is as necessary as a left-sided and a left-footed player. And as I've said a few times now, when you think outside the box, joined up thinking a little bit, I'm not that crazy about spending massive amounts of money when we've probably got little money to go around and 3 or 4 positions we need to help out with. And so if you can get a deal done for someone like Lloyd Kelly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the best way to go, as long as it meant we could also get the gig done for a forward, a winger, a striker. So if we could get Lloyd Kelly, Santiago Jimenez and Antonio Nusa in January, early, first week of Jan, I'm good. I don't know if you should necessarily have to go out of your way to buy a midfielder and spend money and commit to a 4-year contract because you know you're going to lose Bissouma and Sarr for 3 games. I think that's a little bit over egging the pudding. But if you sell Højbjerg, then you can make the argument to loan somebody who can cover for Sarr and Bissouma. But yeah, 3 signings and 1 loan. I'm good. Are you? Let me know your thoughts. Jared Branthwaite. Keep an eye on him if you're not familiar, or if you're not sure he's as good as I say he is. Just keep an eye on him. I think he's going to be one of the emerging talents of 23-24, and we'll get better and better. And I wouldn't mind seeing that in a Tottenham shirt. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, bye-bye.